Can you help us throw some light on why is it important for today's consumer to know and monitor their CIBIL score and report on a regular basis?
CIBIL score or a credit score is something is very similar to a fitness score, where you build your fitness every day and it keeps compounding.
And I also believe Paisabazaar also drives a lot of such campaigns to drive more awareness and improve this financial behavior for the end user.
There's a lot of ability on platforms like Paisabazaar for you to check which lender is most likely willing to give you a loan. Almost 58 lakh consumers who came to our platform and checked the score improved their credit score by almost 25 points in 6 months.
Welcome to our today's Women's Day special episode. In this series, we usually explore different topics that are impacting the Indian borrowers, whether they are starting their credit journey or actively managing their loans and credit cards. In today's episode, we are going to explore how to take better control of your credit health. Today, the digital borrowing has become like a second nature, and hence, knowing your CIBIL score, CIBIL report, and managing your financial behavior is very critical. To dive deeper into this conversation, we have someone special who has not only enabled millions of Indians with awareness, but also provided access to credit products. Ms.Santosh Agarwal, CEO of Paisabazaar, which is one of India's leading digital platform providing loans and various credit products. Hi Santosh, thank you for joining us. Pleasure to host you.
Thank you so much, Shefali. Thank you for having me here.
Great. I'll straight dive into my first question. We've seen, Santosh, I'm sure with your journey in Paisabazaar that millions of people, when they opt for a loan, they would look for a CIBIL score and try to understand where do they stand. On the other hand, there are some set of people, for them it is just a number. Can you help us throw some light on why is it important for today's consumer to know and monitor their CIBIL score and report on a regular basis, and particularly highlight what is it that they're missing out if they don't monitor it regularly?
See, I think a lot of people, before they take a loan, when they want to really borrow, they check the CIBIL score. It's almost like you're wanting to travel and you're checking whether you have a passport on you or not. Whereas a CIBIL score or a credit score is something is very similar to a fitness score, where you build your fitness every day and it keeps compounding. And of course, over time, you will see that it really helps you out when you actually need the loan. So most people, I think the mistake that they make is that when there is an emergency, when there is a medical requirement, a lot of people take loans for medical reasons. At that point, they come and check their loan and often find that their scores are not healthy. And for various reasons, that there was a small due outstanding on their card that they did not pay on time. They realize that there have been, some settlement that is pending, or in fact, they may have cleared their dues, but the reporting in the bureau is not right. So, various things, right? And little things that may not be of a real significance to the user. But at that point, it is important. And I think that's what it does. At that point, checking the score is not going to help. And hence, checking it regularly, almost making it a habit of checking where your score is, actively working towards improving your score, can really go a long way to plan your financials better. And, you actually become a person or a consumer who you will find a lot of people who want to lend to you. And hence your options increase, your ability to negotiate gets better. So I think just checking your score regularly and optimizing for the right score just makes you credit healthy.
I think that's a great and very valuable perspective. I also pick one of the instance what you mentioned is monitoring your CIBIL score on a regular basis will also help you prevent from any further surprises, right? Moving on to my next question, which is somewhat related to this. At TransUnion CIBIL, we strongly believe in spreading this awareness about credit health and improving their CIBIL score to at least maintain a good CIBIL score. And I also believe Paisabazaar also drives a lot of such campaigns to drive more awareness and improve this financial behavior for the end user. In all this awareness drive, we have this emphasis on a good CIBIL score. Can you help us understand, what this good CIBIL score can actually, or in a practical manner, what does it unlock for the end user?
See, the way these scores are defined is you could be a healthy, you can be in the healthy range, or you can be in the green, dark green range, or you can be in the not so healthy range, and you can be also in the very poor or the red and amber range. Now, these ranges will typically decide the kind of product that you can get, the rate at which you can get the product, whether you can get the product at all or not. So especially unsecured lending or unsecured loans totally depend on these bands. And of course, if you are in the green or the dark green range, you will most likely get a loan. You will most likely qualify. The process that you will go through will be largely seamless. The disbursement will be quick. So all of this will go in your favor. The moment you change or you come to a lower band, and it may just, a few actually points can change the band for you, but the few points can really derail you in the way you get a product. So, you're no longer then maybe a pre-qualified customer. If you need a loan, you may have to give a lot more documents about yourself. You may need to go through a physical verification process. So a lot of, I would say, derailment in the time taken to take a loan, in the ability to get a loan, the fact that the interest rate may be high. So all of this starts to come into picture the moment you change these bands. So I think just being in the green range and the dark green range is of course very, very healthy, and one can, kind of ensure that they never fall below these ranges, and that will always keep them in good stead.
That's very insightful. Thanks for that, Santosh. And moving on to slightly a different tangent, I would say. Considering that today's era provides so much of easy access to digital borrowing, and plus there are so many credit product choices that today's consumer has. Can you explain and help the consumers understand that why is it important for them to, revisit their choices before applying? How will it impact their credit health?
See, when you actually need a loan, right? A lot of people try and we've seen this behavior on our platform, that they apply at several places without knowing that this behavior itself can impact their score, and because they want to explore different products from different institutions, and they want to see what is the best rate available. But the fact that this behavior may actually cause the lender to believe that the customer is credit hungry and is desperate to get a loan, that may start impacting the customer's ability to get the loan. So multiple choices is great. Multiple choices without actually applying makes a lot of sense, and one should see if they can, see offers that call them pre-qualified or pre-approved. There the chances of getting the loan may be higher, and if it largely fits the amount they need, the tenor they need the loan for, some of that they should go ahead. I think more than 2 inquiries may genuinely debilitate people in their actual ability to get a loan. So of course digital borrowing has really made access to credit available for everybody, has made it simple. So of course with a lot of digital innovation and built on the rails that the government has laid out, access to credit has become very, very simple. It is available at a fingertip today, but one should also realize that some of this access should be used judiciously. So when one is applying or looking for a loan, making multiple inquiries at the same time and applying to several places, just because people may want to check that, who's going to give me a loan, and what is the interest rate, what is the minimum interest rate I can get a loan at. In that behavior may actually in fact cause lenders to believe that one is credit hungry and is desperate to borrow, and that may actually hamper the ability of actually getting the product. So I think the choices are great to have, and one should go about them in a judicious manner and apply once they are certain that they want a loan and the loan is of the tenor of the amount that they wish to. And once they, I think, see some of that, and that's readily available across platforms, one should then go ahead and apply and not make multiple inquiries. That is one. There's a lot of ability on platforms like Paisabazaar for you to check which lender is most likely willing to give you a loan. You can check your credit score. Checking your credit score does not impact your bureau report, or does not reflect as an inquiry. So some of that people largely are not aware of. But checking your score, then making a choice that fits your need may be the right way of going about it, and that just smoothens the process for every consumer.
Certainly, I think that's a great point, and this has been a perennial myth amongst the end users that when they check their CIBIL score is when it lowers it. And this we have been trying really hard in terms of all the awareness. I'm sure at Paisabazaar also, you are driving a lot of awareness to clear all these myths. And that brings us to the last question of the episode, Santosh. Any practical advice that you would like to give the consumers, the borrowers, I would say, and especially if there are any tools like a simulator can also help them, make wiser choices for borrowing?
Absolutely. See, one key advice I would give most borrowers is that keep a track of your score. That's the first point. Once you start keeping a track, you will actually watch it, and I'm sure there are ways for you to grow the score. Some of the key things that one should keep in mind is not utilize their credit cards to the fullest, pay their bills on time, when applying for a loan, not make multiple inquiries. So some of this can go a long way in maintaining a healthy score. We've seen that, almost 58 lakh consumers who came to a platform and checked a score improved their credit score by almost 25 points in 6 months. So just this habit of checking the score can go a long way. And there are a lot of tools like Score Simulator, which can be a very good guiding tool to tell you that if, say, your credit challenge or your score is low, how do you get to the green zone, and how much time will it take, what are the problems, what is that you have to fix, and how do you get there. I think all of those tools are today available on platforms like Paisabazaar, and they can be a very good guide in ensuring that you get to the green zone, and that will make you, I think, give you peace of mind. That will ensure that when you need credit products, and they're available at your own terms.
Fantastic advice, I must say. Thanks a ton for that, and thank you for joining us. It was really a pleasure to host you.
Thank you, Shefali. It was a pleasure coming here today.
Summarizing today's episode, we have known that empowering women borrowers with right set of knowledge and digital tools like Paisabazaar, we are creating an ecosystem to provide safer, smarter and transparent borrowing. Thanks for tuning in. This is our continued effort to know your CIBIL. Thank you.